Oh, hi! Good morning. I made it. I'm a walk. I'm like still waking up. I just got out of bed. But I have some water boiling for tea. And I'm gonna... I've awakened. I'm walking time. I've got some water boiling for tea. And I am gonna try and finish the Kampfer today. He's got a waist, he's got a leg. All we really need to do for him is he needs another leg, and then he needs a whole shitload of weaponry. Oh my god, my cat almost stepped on my power button for my PC. Hi, Theses is here too. Do you want to say hi to everybody? Look, you can be on the internet. You can be on the internet if you just stick your head up there. Oh, I saw a whisker. But yeah, actually, man, I timed this badly. I just started, but I am gonna put hot water in my kettle now. So I will be right back. This is the only thing I have to say I'll be right back. So I'm gonna put my poopin' graphic on stream. It needs 3 minutes to steep. But it's steeping. In the meantime, I want to show off my teacup. This is... Oh, it's really hard to see. But it says, "Are you enjoying the time of Eve?" I got this from backing the... Hi, parentheses. From backing the English release Kickstarter for Eve no Jikan. And one of the backer rewards. Yeah, one of the backer rewards was these teacups that are like, they're the same teacups as the ones that they have in the movie. And I love it. It's my favorite little teacup. But I can only really use it when I'm making a pot of tea because it's very small. It's not big. Exactly. Well, to be fair, the movie is about a cafe, so it's appropriate. If you've ever seen Eve no Jikan, you should definitely watch it if you hadn't. It's very, very good. I like it a lot. It's about robots, which is probably why I like it so much. Hey, parentheses. Yes. Yes. You're a good cat. Maybe just a little bit of robot bias, but it really is... It really is a good movie, because it's all about, like, people and how perceptions towards robots change as they gain sentience. And it's nice. Hey. Okay, I'm gonna figure out what I need to start on. Oh, these are the wrong instructions. That's not gonna help me. Oh, these are the right instructions. What I need to do for the leg. She's being... It's because I just got out of bed, and when I'm in bed, she can't hang out with me as easily because I'm asleep. And so when I get up, she's very excited because I'm alive again. Isn't that right? Isn't that right, you little rascal? She was pretty good, actually, because I was... last week, I was away for a while, and somebody came to look after you, yes, and you were well behaved. So I think she's just extra full of beans because she missed me. Didn't you? Yeah. You missed me. Yeah. Yes, she did. Yes, you did. You're gonna have to get used to that because I'm gonna be going away for longer in a few months. I know. I'll miss you too. But the person who was looking after her said she was very good and very talkative. All right. Hey, I think my tea has steeped, Theses. Let's go get my tea, okay? Come on, let's go. Let's go get it. There, tea complete. This is my teapot. I like it a lot. Because it's all metal, it keeps the tea pretty hot. And it's got a good pour. Okay, time to actually build Kampfer. or else it's never gonna get finished. So we've already got the foot. So we need E1. Yeah. I kind of like... It's like... I like getting just like implements and stuff that I use. I like getting like nice little things to use for it. Exactly. It's just free talk and I fiddle with plastic a bit. And sometimes I go, oh, where is that? Why can't I find it? But yeah, I like to like just kind of spoil myself with my daily implements because it's just kind of like, oh, you know, I'll make tea for myself and I'm like, ooh, there's my nice teapot that I like. It makes me happy. Oh, there's my nice mug that I like. It makes me happy. It's just like a little bit of extra happiness, which we all need. God knows. Get these clipped. Ah! Almost knocked my tea over. But yeah, how have you been? How's life? How's your week? What's your weekend like? This weekend, I'm just gonna not do anything, basically, aside from just chill. I was like, ooh, you eatin'. I was traveling and, like, spending time with friends and stuff last weekend, which was fun and all. It was really fun, actually. But, I'm like, okay, this weekend I just want to, like, relax. And not do anything. Oh, computer issues? Oh, yeah, a little bit. They weren't that bad, honestly. I'm actually surprised I didn't really get hungover. Because, we drank quite a bit. And I don't usually drink, like, that much. I usually just will have, like, a glass of wine or, like, a mixed drink. But I didn't really get hungover, which was nice, actually. Because then it meant I could still, like, do stuff during the day and not feel like shit. So that was good. Yeah, I like drinking now and then, but I'll usually just have, like, a drink or two. But I drank more than a drink or two when I was hanging out with my friends. It was fun. Yeah, I'm kind of worried about... In the sauna, I feel like I'm already, like, lightheaded when I'm in the sauna. If I was drinking, too, it would just, like, knock me out. But I don't have a lot of sauna experience. I'm also kind of worried about some of my older hard drives, like whether they're gonna kick the bucket. Maybe I should just replace them now rather than later is probably a good idea. It's amazing how cheap hard drives are now. Cap 8. Yeah, like even SSDs are getting cheap. It's pretty amazing. Although, to be fair, like, you can definitely get way more hard drive space than SSD space for the price. But yeah, like SSDs aren't super expensive anymore. They're like how expensive hard drives used to be, and now hard drives are just like insanely cheap. I think nothing makes me feel more old than seeing the progress of computers. because I'll always be like, back in my day, I remembered I had a 256 gig hard drive in the first PC I built, and I thought it was so big. And now it's like, oh yeah, just buy like a 4 terabyte hard drive. It's like $150 or something. Yeah, GPUs are still super expensive. I guess the thing is like, I mean, like SSDs are fancier or whatever, but hard drives are basically still doing the same thing. They're just bigger. But GPUs are like insane compared to what they used to be. It's the same thing. I remember the first computer I built, my GPU, it was like a little guy. It was like this. It was like a little tiny card. And it was like a decent GPU. And now every GPU is like the size of my arm. They're huge. They're monsters. Okay. The polycap goes in here. Hey, Deanne. Yeah, I just got back, well, like a week ago, I guess. It was really nice. I just went out with some friends. We went on a little trip, drove a little bit, and hung out. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was nice to see people in person that I haven't seen in a while. And I even touched some grass. Crazy, I know. Hi, Bun! Actually, one of the best things about going out there was seeing the stars really clearly. I don't live in like a... I guess it's decently sized. But there's like enough light pollution here where I live that you can't really see that many stars. Like, you can still see some. Hey, thank you for the raid. Woo! But yeah, we were kind of out a ways away from stuff. And the stars were so clear. You could see so many of them. Like, you could even see the Milky Way and stuff. It was really amazing. And I'd seen that before and stuff. Like, I've been camping and whatnot, but it's just been a while since I'd been out where the stars were that pretty. And then bonus is it was the Perseids meteor shower, too. It wasn't super far. It was like a day's drive, or like half a day's drive. Like a day's worth of travel. It was definitely not Uru camping. We like rented, there was this area out there that had a bunch of like vacation houses, and so we rented a house. I actually really want to learn how to sing that song, but it's like super hard. Well, it's not far away for Canada. I know. It's like we didn't even leave my province. We were still in BC. But yeah, it was the Perseids meteor shower, so there was like a ton of shooting stars some of the nights we were there, which was also really cool. B19. Wait. This is B. Oh, I see. I already snipped out these ones. Yeah, if it was Animal Crossing, I would have gotten so many wishes. I actually don't think I did make a wish, because I was like, you know what? This is pretty nice on its own. Don't need any wishes right now. Probably. I think I was drinking rum at the time, so I might have also just forgotten to make a wish. But the stars were very pretty. Yeah, they're just for B-days when you blow out the candles. It was really good. I made myself a hot toddy when we went out to watch the stars, because it wasn't like cold, but it was colder than daytime. And it was like tea and a little bit of sweetening and some rum splashed in. It was so yummy. It's called a hot toddy. It's basically just when you like spike tea with hard liquor. But it's very good. I don't think that's a Canadian thing. I think a hot toddy is like a British thing. It sounds British. Let me find the origin. Oh yeah, it's from India, but like during British colonial times. So hot toddy. It's like Toddy. Toddy. I can teach you all about drink mixing while I make my Gunpla. Yeah, see? It's easy. I can always blame the British. Honestly, I think like for a lot of Canadian stuff, I can blame the Brits. Because, you know, we're like a British colony sort of too. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Yep. I can blame the British in our Columbia. It was nice though. I hadn't been to that part of the country for a really long time, honestly. And I was also really lucky because it wasn't currently on fire when we were there. There was like a nearby fire, but it didn't get any closer, so that was good. Because we have this thing where every summer, large parts of our country just catches on fire. It's like, it's not super hot, but it's just really dry. Actually, this week has been pretty hot, but yeah, the reason like every year a bunch of our country catches on fire is just it's really dry in the summer here. And so we just have big forest fires like every year. Hey, Mikitsune! But thankfully for us, it wasn't smoky or fiery when we were there, which was lucky. Done panel lining that piece. But yeah, that was my vacay, and then I got back home, and I've just been working again, because I have to do that again after having a vacation, which sucks. Actually, hopefully I don't get paged, because I am on call right now. And mostly I've just been playing Baldur's Gate. Oh, and I have also, I've been getting back into the critically acclaimed Final Fantasy XIV. I've finally been leveling my fishing, which has been fun. Oh, tea so yummy. Gang gang. Okay, we've got those bits. Need PC2. Yeah, it's that old Final Fantasy. It's been fun leveling Fisher, though. I've made a whole little outfit for my character for fishing. She's got a cute little hat and cute little sunglasses. She's out there hooking fish. Yeah, Baldur's Gate's the new big single-player game, and it's very horny, so I'm not surprised that everyone has characters they're simping for. Honestly, I just think all the characters are really funny. This is PC2. This goes this way. Yeah, the vampire guy, I haven't had him in my party very much for my current playthrough, because I'm playing a good character, and he's not very nice. So every time I was like doing nice deeds for people, he was like rolling his eyes and complaining, and I was like, shut up, Austerian. And also the character I'm playing is a rogue, and he's also a rogue, so I was like, I don't need you here. But I started an evil character as well, and I'm hanging out with Morasterian, and he's honestly very funny. He's just like so camp and dramatic about everything, and I just want to like push him off a cliff, but in like a loving way, you know? Yeah, he's not compatible with my first character I'm using, but with my evil character, it's funny, because my evil character is very deadpan and immoral, and he's very flamboyant and immoral, so they kind of play off each other nicely. It's a fun dynamic. I don't know if love can bloom. My evil character is like a Circle of the Spores druid, and kind of her whole motivation is she just wants to like make everyone grow into like fungus. So I don't know if she's gonna have a romance with anyone. I made my good character smooch Karlach, though, because Karlach's very sweet. Honestly, like, Baldur's Gate is interesting because a bunch of the characters kind of swapped what my expectations were. Oh, yeah, that'll be interesting, because it's very D&D. But yeah, a bunch of the characters really, like, swapped what my expectations were for how they'd be. Like, I thought Shadowheart was gonna be like the goody two-shoes, but she's actually kind of fucked up. And then I thought Karlach was gonna be really edgy, but she's like the nicest party member by far. Yeah, you roll the dice in it. I've been really happy. My main character is... I'm playing as their part rogue, part warlock. But they're really, 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 really good at picking locks. And so whenever I go to roll dice... Yeah, you actually click on the dice and it rolls them. It's not concealed at all. You see that shit. But currently I have, like, plus 13 to sleight of hand checks, which feels awesome. I go to disarm a trap and it says, like, difficulty 10, and I'm like, okay, I can just do this. Yeah, my character I'm playing right now is generally good, but I'm doing this thing that I've kind of put on myself. It's not part of the game, I'm just doing it because I think it's funny. Is I'm role-playing them as a... what's the word for it? When you just tell lies for no reason. There's a word for it. Man, it's escaping me right now. But basically, anytime I get an option to do a deception check, I have to take the deception check. That's it, yeah, like a pathological liar. So anytime deception pops up as a skill check I can make in a dialogue, I have to take it, I have to lie. Yeah, just for the funsies. I mean, oftentimes it works out to my benefit, but... Thankfully, I also made my character extremely stupid good at lying. So most of the times it goes pretty well, because everyone just believes me. Okay, that's that bit, and then we need a 23. Oh, yeah, just be a good boy orc? That would be nice. I've been playing as a tiefling, but he's like pretending to be an elf because he's embarrassed about being a tiefling. Because there's an option for tiefling because you can customize what their horns look like, and one of them is like their horns cut off and kind of like ground down, so it's just kind of sticking out of the front of their head a little bit. And so he's got those, and then he's got these silly bangs covering them up for the most part. And I've made his skin pink, and my justification is that he just wears like a whole bunch of foundation. Yeah, so he's just like race faking as an elf. Because he's embarrassed about being a tiefling. He's just a silly guy. He's basically a good guy. He just makes like a bunch of really dumb decisions that gets him into trouble. That's why he's a warlock. There's an interesting way you can play a character, which I haven't tried yet either, but I want to do it for another playthrough, and it's when you're picking your origins, there's this one you can pick called the Dark Urge. And essentially what it is you can still, like, customize the character and make them look however you want, but it makes it so your background is when you start the game, you have amnesia. It's honestly very Disco Elysium-esque. But it's... You have amnesia, and the only thing you really know is that you, like, really want to kill stuff. But it's interesting because you can either play it as, like, just an evil character that kills everything, like a murder hobo. But you can also play it as a character who's, like, horrified by the fact that they want to kill things. And so occasionally, when you're playing in certain events, stuff will pop up that's like, hey, you should do this thing that's really horrible. Raphael Ambrosis Cousteau, yeah. It's basically like Disco Elysium Harry if you just put like all your points into Half-Light and Physical Instrument. Because as you're playing with Dark Urge, basically like prompts will pop up where it's like, hey, like kick that squirrel, or like, hey, stop listening to this guy, just like cut his arm off. And you can do checks to resist them and not do them. But whenever you resist them, it gets harder to resist the next one until you do it eventually, and then it resets. So you kind of have to, like, pick and choose when you're gonna do horrible stuff so that you can resist doing horrible stuff when it's important. Yeah, it's literally just letting the intrusive thoughts win the playthrough. It seems interesting. I haven't tried it yet, though. Okay, how does this piece go again? This goes in here. I don't think so. I guess if you're doing a multiplayer session, everyone could be doing Dark Urge, which would be insane. But, no, you can just have it on, like, your player character in a normal playthrough. Not on, like, the party members. The party members have their own share of messed up problems. They don't need that on top of it. Yeah, the mental institution escapees party. I feel like most multiplayer games of Baldur's Gate will already end up like that, even without the Dark Urge going on. Because just the fact that everyone can be walking around and talking to different people and setting off different events, I feel like just will lead to chaos. There we go. There's the main part of the lig. Okay, so now we need C9. Getting the leg up on the competition. But yeah, basically, my ultimatum, very hot take, I know. Baldur's Gate 3, really good game. I don't know what that voice was. Characters kissing in front of everyone. Honestly, yeah, like, the game is very horny. And I, as many of you may know, am not particularly horny. So that's been kind of interesting. Like, there's this event where after you kind of do the first main big quest, you can have, like, a big party at camp. And, like, suddenly everyone in my party was like, hey, main character, you seem really cool. Do you want to get to know each other more, maybe? And I'm like, yo, we, like, just met, like, a couple days ago. Like, let's just chill, okay? I did give Karlach a little smooch, because Karlach's very sweet. But also, Karlach is like... She's basically like a cyborg. She has like an engine instead of a heart. And so she's essentially on fire, like, all the time. And so Karlach was like, man, I really want to bang, but I'd, like, literally burn your wiener off. And I was like, that's fine. Like, let's just chill. Like, it's okay. It's not a big deal. Yeah, she's literally super hot. Karlach's such a sweetie, though. She's pretty cute. When you talk to her about the fact that she, like, can't touch anything or she'll burn it up, she's like, you've never met anyone who needs a hug more than me. I haven't had a hug in forever. And I'm like, aw, baby. She needs a hug. She's also very fun to play as in your party, because I've got her as... There's this subclass of Barbarian called Berserker. And basically what they get to do is... as like a bonus action, which is like a fast thing you can do that's usually in addition to whatever else you're doing in your turn. They can throw things. And the really fun thing about being able to throw things when you have a high strength is that you can throw enemies. So having Karlach on your team when you're fighting small things like, say, goblins or something is really fun. Because you can just have her go into a big berserker rage and then just, like, chuck goblins at each other. There we go. That's that part of the leg. Now we do the thigh. But yeah, it was very fun when I was on my little trip with my friends, because a bunch of my other friends have also been playing Baldur's Gate, and we were all kind of in the same spot. So we were all just talking about, like, what was going on in our playthroughs. The gamer chat. No, not really. It's kind of like... co-op for those games is fun, but it's such a hassle to set up. It's like real D&D. Where... you have to, like, coordinate and have people playing at the same time. And then... that's not as big a deal in, like, games like... you know, like Apex or something, because it's like, yeah, oh, hey, let's hop on and play a few rounds. But the problem with something like Baldur's Gate is it's like hundreds of hours. It would be fun to play some co-op, though, just to see what crazy shit would happen. It feels like it's gonna be that long. I mean, I've probably put like 30 hours into my main character, and I don't think I'm even done Act 1, so... there's just so much stuff to do in it. Ooh, thank you. Yeah, the stream, I want it to be comfy, especially these Gunpla ones. Because it's just kind of, I'm chilling and I'm building and I'm chatting. But yeah, that's the thing that's impressed me the most about the game so far, is it feels like every single little corner you turn around, there's like a super involved side quest hiding there. It really feels like you're playing D&D and you have a DM that's just like really good at improvising. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I love my tea kettle. Isn't it cute? It's metal. But yeah, it just really feels like you have a DM that's really good at improvising, and any like little cave you go into, they're like, oh, I'm gonna find something for you guys to do in here. Oh, there's like an ancient necromancy book in here. If you find the gem to it, you can open it up and learn its secrets. Like, it's very good. I'm super impressed by it. It really just kind of feels like if you've played Divinity 2, it's like that, but like on I was gonna say on steroids, but basically it's just on way bigger team and more time. Basically, like, my only complaint about it so far is there's, like, some performance issues right now, but, it seems like they're being pretty active in putting out, like, patches and hotfixes, so... Oh, actually, no, my other complaint is that I can't play as a Warforged, which makes me sad. Warforged are basically, like, the robots in D&D. But some of the stuff in the plot kind of, I guess, makes sense about why you wouldn't be a Warforged. Oh, absolutely. I think it's probably really hard to play test for bugs. I mean, kind of the nice thing is... Oh, you can see These's little paws. Hey, girl, come here. Come here. You're gonna knock stuff over. Come on. Kind of one of the neat things is similar to, like, I think a lot of people really liked the open world Zelda games for this too. Yeah, she was thinking about it. But they've really just kind of built like a little physics engine and kind of an engine for how interactions should work. And then lots of stuff is just kind of, you can do it. Yeah, that's the other thing, is I think why the game is so polished is it's been in early access for like 2 or 3 years or something. And I heard it was like really rough in early access. I remember when it first opened for early access, some of my friends were playing it, but I kind of thought like, I'll just wait till it's done. But that way they basically just had a bunch of people doing free testing, which is very useful. But yeah, it's neat, a lot of interactions, like you can stack boxes on top of each other and then use them to jump over stuff, or, you know, you can put a bunch of explosive barrels somewhere and then blow them all up, or stuff like that. Hey, girl, did you just knock one of my Gunpla pieces on the floor? What the fuck? You're a rascal. Yeah, speaking of another game that's gonna have a lot of bugs, Starfield. When is that coming out? That's pretty soon, right? There's so many games coming out right now. It's kind of insane. Because, like, Starfield's coming out really soon. Armored Core 6 is coming out in, like, 5 days, which I'm really looking forward to as well. And then another smaller one that I'm really excited to play. Maybe I'll stream it, actually. is Bomb Rush Cyberfunk just came out, which is the kind of like spiritual follow-up to Jet Set Radio. It's been made by the team that did Lethal League, and they got the composer from Jet Set to work on it as well. And it seems pretty cool. Yeah, one of the other cool things I saw, and I think they did this for Lethal League too, is they basically put out a notice that said like, hey, we made sure that there's no content claims for any of the music in our game. So like, go ahead and stream it. Like, we have a bunch of music by a bunch of different artists, but you can stream it and it's fine. And if you get content claimed, like, dispute it, because it's not a thing. Hey, PCs, get out of here. Rascal, knocking my gunpla off. Where did that piece go? Is this it? No. Yeah. I mean, one nice thing is I've noticed, like, it's definitely not as big a deal if you don't have any kind of monetization on your YouTube channel. Like, especially in these Gunpla building streams, I just kind of play whatever music I want. And then oftentimes I'll get a little notice for the VOD that says, hey, there's been content claims by this, this, and this. But it doesn't mean I have to take down the VOD. It just means that they're going to play ads on it now. And that's not a big deal for me. But definitely for people that have any kind of monetization, I think you can't have that. And so it's a lot tougher. Yeah, like, Hi-Fi Rush had a really cool streaming mode where, because it's all, like, licensed music, but then if you turn on streaming mode, they have, like, they made basically, like, legally distinct versions of all the licensed music in the game and use that instead in the streaming mode, which is really cool. I definitely prefer that to, like, some games have a streaming mode where they turn off the licensed music, which is nice, but when they don't replace it with anything, it just really takes the wind out of some moments in the game where you're supposed to have this great song playing, but it's just silent, and it's kind of a bummer. I feel like one of the funniest games that has, like, the opposite of any kind of streaming mode is Death Stranding, which has licensed music that plays for extended periods of time. And not only does it have no way to turn off only the licensed music, it has no way to lower the music volume at all. So people streaming it just have to, like, mute the whole game in those scenes. Yeah, honestly, that amount of endings makes sense to me in Baldur's Gate. Like I said, like, I don't think I'm even done Act 1 yet, and it feels like there's been so many big choices I've already made about, like, who I've pissed off and who I haven't. The other crazy thing is that I haven't actually gotten to Baldur's Gate yet, because it's a city. And I can't wait to get there because I know it's going to be huge. And, like, so many people I've met and helped in various quests have been like, yo, I'm heading to Baldur's Gate, but like when you get there, look me up, we'll hang out. And I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait to get to Baldur's Gate. There's like so much shit gonna be happening there. I really want to meet this one. There's this like wizard that multiple people have been talking about. He's called like Lorokanan or something. And he's apparently like super fucking shady and like really sus. And I super want to meet him because I love sus wizards. Also, I think I stole a shipment that was meant for him, so that'll be interesting. Okay, that's good. That's looking good. I'm a little thief. My character's a rogue. I can't help it. When you have like over 10 bonus to your sleight of hand checks, you have to steal everything. Actually, when I stole that, it was kind of funny because it was in a locked chest and the chest was kind of hard to lockpick. So basically I like distracted the guards with an illusion and then I just picked up the whole chest and I ran away really, really, really fast while they were looking the other way. And then I took it back to camp and I picked the lock there. Yeah, the whole chest. I found this really useful magical chest that was... It was in a wizard's tower. It was called, like, the Chest of Mundane Things. And basically it was used to hide his valuables, because anything you put into it turns into, like, a mundane object. But it's also really useful because it means whatever you put into it suddenly weighs like half a pound because it got turned into like a bowl or a spoon or something. So you can carry a bunch of really heavy shit by just putting it in this chest and having it turn into a bowl. The only problem is like getting stuff out of it is really difficult because you can't tell what's what. But I've been using it to store, like, barrels of gunpowder and stuff. So if I ever need to blow people up, I can fish out big ol' explosive barrels and put them places. Hey, feces! Okay, how are these pieces going together? I need polycap 3 and polycap 8. Yeah, I mean, that might have worked too. I think... My character's kind of a weakling, but it wasn't a super big chest. I think he could have done it. PC8? Yes. Hi! You're so full of beans today. Don't you wanna have a nap? Don't you want to have a nap? No, you can't climb up on there. It's covered in stuff. You can say, do you want to say hi to everybody? Say hi. There you go. There you go. Good girl. Yeah, she's just a little creature. I think she knows that the mic is what I use to talk to people. Because most of the time if I hold her up to it and say, do you want to say hi, she'll meow. I think that's also why she bites it. Because she's like, pay attention to me, not the mic. Don't talk to those people, pet me. You're such a brat. Yeah, you are. You're such a... No, don't bite the mic. You're such a brat. Yeah, you're good. You're a streamer, aren't you? I need to show you how to use OBS. You can have your own channel. She really liked, whenever I'd play, Takarajiman's streams, she'd always, like, watch him. I think she's a Lobak. Hey. Girl, I'm trying to build a Gundam. Well, it's not a Gundam. I'm trying to build a mobile suit right now. Okay? Okay? And I can't build it if there's a kitty stepping on my hands. Hey. Hey. If you want to lie down and snuggle, that's fine, but I can't have you walking all over my hands when I'm trying to build stuff, baby. No. I'm gonna put the pieces on camera, so if you try and knock them off, everyone can see how naughty you are. Okay? Yeah. We're all watching you. Hey! I'll kick your butt. Stop it! I know. I think she's upset because I went on vacation. And then I came back home, but then immediately once I came back home, I was working. And I didn't have time to pay attention to and pamper my beloved kitty cat. Isn't that right? So now it's the weekend and I don't have to work, and you're like, you have to pay attention. You have to pay attention to me. Yes, you have to spoil me because you went away. You abandoned me. Girl, see? Look at this. Look at this. She's so evil. Don't bite him. Jesus. And then she almost falls off the table because she's so clumsy. Get out of here. She's definitely one of the cats of all time. She's a good little goober, I guess. I guess I love her a lot, I guess. Yeah, well, she's a cat, so she's soon to me. I can be soon right back. It's only fair. Cats are inherently tsundere by nature. Okay, there's the thigh, and now we gotta do the booty. A21 and A22. I think they are, yeah. Because most cats will, like... They'll do this thing where they, like... lie down near you, but they like don't look at you because they're like, oh, yeah, I just happen to be lying here. It's not like I want to be hanging out with you or anything. But then you'll go up to the bathroom and they'll immediately get up and follow you into the bathroom. Like, come on. I don't know if y'all saw, I've been posting a lot of pictures of her in the sink lately. Because she started doing this thing where when I go to the bathroom, she likes to follow me in to make sure that nothing bad happens to me while I'm pooping, which, you know, valid, I appreciate it. But she's discovered that the sink is like the perfect size for her. So, while I'm pooping, she goes and she lies in the sink, which is fine, it's very cute. But the problem is then I get up and I want to wash my hands. And if I stick my hands in the sink, I don't find any water, I don't find any soap. I just find a bunch of fur. Because there's a cat in the sink. Oh, your kitty bites you. Uh-oh. They do sound like a manipulator. See, I did this thing when parentheses was a kitten where I gaslit her so she doesn't bite me now. Because when she was a kitten, when she'd get excited and like play and stuff, sometimes she'd like gently bite me. Just as like a play bite, like not a real bite. Like just kind of put her teeth on me. But I'd do this thing where anytime she did it, I'd go like, ah! And I'd pretend it like really hurt me. And so she'd be like, oh. And so she learned that, oh, my human is like a huge pussy, and if I bite them, it like really hurts them because they're super weak. So I won't bite them anymore. And so now she doesn't bite me ever. Because she knows that I'm a weakling. Yeah, Mikitsune, I've had that too. I like have to always have stuff over the power button on my computer, or else she'll turn it off. Yeah, she probably thinks she has to protect me because I'm so weak. I think that's the problem now, is when I, like, threaten to kick her butt. She's like, you couldn't kick my butt. She probably thinks she could totally beat me up in a fight. She's like, you're super weak. If I do like a play bite on you, it hurts you so bad. If I did a real bite, you'd probably die. To be fair, she also thinks that she could definitely fight the seagulls outside. And I'm like, there's no way you could fight those seagulls. She does this thing where she sits. I have this like little perch for her by one of the windows. And she'll sit on it and she'll watch the seagulls, and she'll do that little cat chattering thing where she's like we have the building I live in has this kind of like open courtyard, and so through one of my windows you can see all the rest of the roof. And there's this family of seagulls that usually, Or I don't know if they're the same seagulls, but typically every year there's at least one seagull family that makes their nest on the roof and like raises their little babies here, which is cute because it means I get to look out and I get to see the babies. But it also means that there's always seagulls walking around on the roof, so Theseus gets to stare out at them and think about how she could totally take them in a fight. Okay, yeah, PC 9 for this. Oh, and I am going to panel line these before I put them together, or else the seam line is going to get panel lined, and I don't want that. Yeah, that's the thing, is like she could probably win a fight against a baby seagull, but I'm pretty sure the parents would like kick her ass. She's mostly an indoor cat. She just like, I let her out on my deck with supervision to make sure she doesn't try and like jump on the railing or anything. Oh my god, yeah. Some family members of mine also have a Maine Coon, and it's crazy how big they get. They're massive. Yeah, I really love when cats are kittens and they're going to be really big. Like, you can see that their paws and their ears are, like, way too big for them because they're going to grow into them. I remember our family cat growing up. He wasn't a Maine Coon, but he was just, like, he was a big orange cat. Oh, do I need a polycap for this too? Nope, but I need to put this inside. Almost messed up there. Yeah, he was like a big orange boy. And when he was a kitten, his ears were giant compared to the rest of him. And he, unlike Theseus, was very good at killing things because he was an outdoor cat. Yes. And then we put the little thruster bells back here. This one's so hard to get in because this polycap is so loose. Some parts of this kit are really well engineered, and then some parts, like some of these polycaps, make me realize, like, oh yeah, this is an old kit. There we go. And this one goes like this. There we go. Okie dokie. So now that's done. We just need A29 for the knee part. Okay, enough sleepy music. Actually, One thing I was gonna put on is... I realized that because there's no content claims, it means I can just play it. I'm gonna just put on the Bomb Rush Cyberpunk soundtrack. Get these sounded down. We are almost done building the main body. And then it'll be time to start on the weaponry.
What's your name?
I think I might not build the chain mines today because the chain mines are going to be a huge pain in the butt to build. Yeah, you brought it in. I've heard that the reason cats will bring, like, live prey into your house is because they think that because you don't catch any, it's because you don't know how to. And so they'll catch, like, rats and stuff, and they'll bring them in alive because they're trying to help, like, teach you how to catch them. I remember growing up, my mom was really not good at dealing with the things our cat killed. And so I'd be the one that would have to clean up after the murders. And sometimes, like, if I was away from home and, like, our cat had, like, killed a rat or something, and, like, because he'd eat, when he killed birds, he'd eat the birds, but he got sick from eating rats once, so then he'd just kill them and bring them to us. And I remember more than once, actually, if I was, like, away for the weekend and the cat brought a dead rat up onto the deck, my mom would just, like, put a bowl over it and, like, weight it down with something so, like, animals wouldn't get at it, and then just wait for me to get home to, like, bag it up. Okay, get some panel lines on this. Be like, Max killed something. You have to deal with it. It's under the bowl on the deck. And honestly, like, most of the time it wasn't that gory, because, like, the rats, he didn't try to eat them or anything, so most of the time it's just, like, they had their little necks broken or whatever. So this piece goes in like so. Yeah, he was pretty efficient. He was a practiced killer. I remember one time, I think it was when we were moving. We had all the doors open because we were, like, moving furniture and stuff in and out. And a bird flew into the house. And so it was, you know, confused and stuff flying around, and we were trying to shoo it out. And we were shooing it out, and it was almost out. It was flying, like it was off the ground, heading towards the door. And Max came running around the corner, and he jumped up into the air, and he grabbed it, like, out of the air, and just landed on the ground with it, stuck it in his mouth, and ran out the door, and we never saw that bird again. So that's like that. And this goes in like this. And then just put the foot on. We can put that on there. Ba-ba-ba! It's a whole boy! It's a whole boy! Can stand up easily without needing to balance. He's birthed. But now, we're gonna make some more weapons for him. Because the Kampfer is just covered in weapons. But first because my webcam doesn't focus super well, I will take a little picture of him and then put it up so y'all can see him better. Oh, I need to file that part a little better at some point. There's my phone. Actually, I'll take a picture of his back, because there's some pretty cool stuff going on with the legs on this kit. And just like the thrusters on the back in general, so I'll show you his booty. Because his booty's pretty cool. And that's where a bunch of the gold stuff I've done is. Booty? Yes. Booty. Hey, you know what they say, if you've got it, flaunt it. Alright, I'm gonna do my super high-tech way of getting my phone images into OBS, which is I send them to the little private Discord server I have for testing stuff out, and then I download them from there onto my computer. There might be a better way to do this, but this is how I do it. Oh my god, you can like see the cat hair all over him. I definitely need to give him a wash before I do any painting. I think it should be in here. And this picture's probably going to be really... Oh, no, it's already resized. Okay. Ta-da! That's how he looks like from behind. You can see all the little gold I've done in all the little thrusters. You can also see all the seam lines on this kit, which I think is people's main complaints with it. Yeah, he's all blinged up. But yeah, now we're gonna do some weapons. I think I'll probably do the painting I want to do off stream, because it's finicky and it's annoying to do. But what I want to eventually do is I want to do like a matte top coat on them to make them a little less shiny, and then do like a dry brush with silver to weather them all up to make him look like he's been through some shit. Yeah, it's just kind of like doing the paint is a lot of like I have to like move back and forth to different stuff, and my mic is on a stand, so I can't really, it doesn't translate well to a stream. Because it's a lot of like going back and forth to wash stuff and set various things up, and I like have to go outside to spray on the top coat, and yeah. It's honestly not even that annoying. It's just like it's not suited well to sitting in one place. Okay, but let's get him his second shotgun. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, well, the cool thing is, I think I mentioned this, like the OVA the Kampfer's from. The scene with the Kampfer is one of few scenes in Gundam that does this thing where it acknowledges the fact that weapons have limited capacity for ammunition. And the way the Kampfer solves this is not reloading its weapons. It's just by carrying a bunch of weapons and chucking them away when they're out of ammo. Does the shotgun that goes on his back need a different piece? No, it has a little hook. Okay. Did I get the front? No. The weapons in particular, I think, will look a lot better with a little bit of dry brushing, because they're just kind of uniform gray like this, but if you brush a little silver on them, it really kind of brings out all the details in them. Yeah, I love dry brushing. It's such an easy way to make stuff look way fancier. I think I'll probably, because I am quickly running out of display space at home, now that I'm working in the office again, I think I'll take this guy to have on my desk. I already have 2 Gunpla on my desk at work, but there's definitely room for another one. And I've already got a Goof custom there, so he'll kind of be on theme with that. Because the Kampfer is almost a little bit like a the upgraded version of the Goof. Yeah, whenever, you know, I'm doing something tough at work, I look and I'm like, oh, 144 Goof Custom, we're really in it now. And he's like, you can do it, Noah. I believe in you. And then I power through. Man, the Goof Custom's such an awesome design. Hold on, I have to show you what the Goof Custom looks like. I wonder, do I have any pictures of... No, I don't think I have any good pictures of the one I made. Oh, actually, this person also dry brushed theirs, so mine looks kind of like this, but not quite as good. So I'll just save this image. And did it say? Oh, yeah, here it is. Oh, yeah, I guess you can hear my Windows sounds. This is what the Goof Custom looks like. It's pretty cool. It's got a big Gatling gun on it. Yeah, he's cute. The Goof is also famous as... You may have heard the quote from the original Gundam, which is, "This is no Zaku, boy, no Zaku." The, like, coolest dude in the original Gundam TV show is this guy called, oh, fuck, am I forgetting his name? Ramba Ral. It's waving. Oh, I also just realized, when you mentioned disappearing, I haven't been using my Fugi, so I was also disappeared. But yeah, there's this dude called Ramba Ral, and he's basically like the coolest dude. He's just like this military dude that loves his wife, and he's really good at piloting. And he's the first person to like really kick the shit out of the main character. Because it's kind of at the point where like Amuro, who's the main character in the original Gundam, is like starting to actually get sort of okay at piloting it. Like he's not like totally useless anymore, even though he's a basically randomly conscripted child soldier. But he's basically like easily killing all of the like random goons, right? And then Ramba Ral shows up, and Ramba Ral is piloting a Goof. And he's like, "Yo, kid, the only reason you're doing good is because the Gundam is, like, really powerful. And you'd be getting your shit rocked if it wasn't for the Gundam. Let me show you." And then he rocks Amuro's shit, and it's really cool. I think that's all the bits there. Also, he spawned one of my favorite Gundam meme videos, which is called The Goof Troop. And it's basically just a bunch of scenes from the original Gundam, but someone's put, like, cartoon comedy sound effects over it. And it's very good. Just get the end bit here. Ah! This piece is very small, so it's very finicky. Man, I need to trim my nails, too. I'm realizing this as I'm trying to hold these small pieces. They're getting kind of long. Ooh, fancy, fancy. Yeah, I need a little manicure. Honestly, it's good though. I'm happy when I see the nails on my hands getting long, because I've had like a really bad habit for most of my life of biting my nails. Not like a really bad habit, it's not like it's that big a deal. But if I notice that the nails on my hands are getting long, I'm like, oh, I must be not stressed / not bored if it means that none of my nails are getting bitten. Although, honestly, part of me is like, if God wanted us to use nail clippers on our hands, he wouldn't have given us teeth. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I also bite my lips. Or I bite like the inside of my cheeks. Honestly, if you name like an anxious coping habit thing, I probably do it. I chew my nails, I bite the inside of my cheeks, I do the leg bouncy thing like constantly. But I do the leg bouncy thing like even when I'm not anxious. I remember learning in one of our psychology lectures at uni that apparently the leg bounces is some people's brains do this thing where if they notice that the body has like excess energy that it's not using, they're like, well, if we don't use this, it's gonna go to waste. Yeah, same. I thought of this because my leg was also bouncing right now. But the brain is like, if we don't use this, it's gonna go to waste. So let's like get part of us moving a bit to burn off this excess. And I think maybe that's like one of the small contributing factors to why I don't gain weight that easily. Is that my legs always be bouncing. Yeah, it's basically our brain like, hey, bro, go exercise. We're doing our best here. But there's only so much we can do. I was happy, actually, when the place we were staying at for my vacation had a scale, and I don't own a scale at home. And I was like, oh, I should weigh myself. I wonder if I'm like... I haven't weighed myself in probably like over a year. I wonder if I'm the same weight or if I'm getting chunkier because I love to eat. But I was still the same weight, which is good. I think it helps that I've started exercising a little bit more too, so. Okay, how do these all go together again? I think they just sort of boop, boop, boop. Oh, I'll panel line them first, though. Oh no, Ring Fit stream? I don't know if I can do a Ring Fit stream. You'd hear all my sussy noises. Honestly, like, one thing streaming culture has made me realize oh shit, thank you. You're right. We are not currently playing Hypnospace Outlaw. But yeah, one thing like streaming culture in general has made me realize is that just when I'm like doing stuff, I'm like, man, this was on stream right now, people would be like putting flush shit in the chat or whatever. Not even actually with Ring Fit, it's not as much when I'm like working out It's more when I'm doing the stretches. Currently building HG Kampfer. Yeah, it's just like something that... Thank you, Bun. I did not notice that. But yeah, it's like something I didn't really notice before. I'm just like, oh yeah, this is the noise I make when I stretch. But after you start watching people's streams and start seeing how people's chats act when they're doing said streams, you're like, oh man, if people were hearing this, they'd be having something to say. But I think it's just normal to make kind of funny noises sometimes when you're doing stuff. Maybe one day I'll do Ring Fit. I think it would be cool to try and do Ring Fit karaoke. Like someone out there. Yeah, it's like they're not even whimpering, they're just tired. Apparently there are. I don't know a lot about TikTok because I'm an old man. So the only TikToks I know are the ones that I get shown. Oh, it's banned? Didn't they, like, ban it in the US, too, or something? Because they were like, the Chinese are trying to influence our youth with the TikToks, or whatever. It's not banned in Canada, but I'm just old. Oh, yeah. Like, making someone do push-ups to hear their noises. Apparently it was? I don't know. I don't live in the States, so I have no idea. I have some friends that live there. I should ask them next time, but I don't think they use TikTok either because they're also old people like me. Tea so yummy. I know that thing. I know the NPC stream thing. I am. I'm ancient. That's why I make so many noises when I stretch, because my body doesn't move like that good. Honestly, I felt it so hard when we were on vacation because the beds, the place we were staying was really nice, but the beds were not very comfortable. Like the mattresses were pretty hard, and my body hurt so much just from like sleeping on a slightly uncomfortable mattress. Like I was so happy to get home to my comfy bed. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the whole vertical format either. No, we didn't sleep in a tent. We rented, like, basically like an Airbnb. It was like, not a cabin. It was nicer than a cabin, but it was like a house out in the wilderness. Yeah, maybe I'm just fancy. Maybe I'm just... I just like the pleasant things in life. There we go. There's a little shotgun. You can make it with or without the stock. So I'll make this one without the stock. And then I believe there is a little piece we can use somewhere. E7. So that he can hold it on his back like a little hat. E7. Yeah, I've the last couple of years I've invested in upgrading my bed. And my bed is very comfy now. I had a family member staying here, like I said, to take care of my cat. And they were like, "Oh my god, your bed is so comfy." Which is both a blessing and a curse. Because on the one hand, comfy bed, yay, comfy, yay. But on the other hand, when you actually have to get up to do things, it makes it much more difficult. Because the bed is so comfy. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. It's like, I spend a whole lot of time sleeping. I might as well make it nice as possible. So yeah, I got a new mattress a little while ago, because I'd been using the same one for like over 10 years. And I got really soft sheets. And it's very nice. But yeah, I think this is my $1 million invention that I think would be super popular, but I just don't know how you'd make it. Is if you had an alarm clock that could somehow... You have like a mattress that's super comfy, right? But then when you activate something in it, it like hardens up. It gets uncomfortable. And if you could hook an alarm clock up to that, so that when your alarm clock goes off, it makes your bed like stiff as a rock and not comfy to sleep on, that would be the ideal. It's like, damn, I guess I have to get up now because my bed's not comfy anymore. Alright, so this goes on his back. And then... this just slides in like this, I believe. There we go. Now he can hold his extra shotgun back there. And now, let's do the big guns. It's time for the bazookas. Yeah, I've done the moving the alarm clock out of reach thing, but I feel like the problem with that is even once I get up to go turn it off, I'm still like half asleep. And so it's still like a coin flip whether I'm just like, still so eepy sleepy, and I just climb back into bed. There is the other half of it, and then we need the handle. And D8 and D9. There, that is all the pieces you need to make a bazooka. Easy. Which is good, because we're going to be making 2 of them. Yeah, sleeping is so nice that it has to be balanced by the horrible reality of waking up. Almost. So he's got 2 bazookas, and then he's got also 2, like, little RPG grenades that go on his waist, too. Oh, and he's also got a beam saber. And then he's also got the, like, chain mine thing, but I'm not gonna build that on stream, because it's gonna take forever. He's got a lot of stuff, yeah. He's loaded up. I think the funniest ultimate evolution of, like, the loaded up mobile suit, though, is there's one called the Psycho Zaku. And basically the design philosophy of it was, what if we just take a normal Zaku and then we load up like 5 Zaku's worth of equipment onto it and put really big engines on the back of it. And it's awesome. Here, let me find a picture of it. Yeah, this one really captures it from the rear. Oh, he's definitely not. Here, let me find the Psycho Zaku here. Save WebP as PNG. Hey, girl! Theses is here again. Hey, Marcel! I'm showing people the Psycho Zaku. Where did this get saved? There it is. This is the Psycho Zaku from behind. So, as you can see, it has, these are all fuel packs and engines. And then it has 3 bazookas up here. And I believe it's got like 3 machine guns down here that it can grab. And then it's got an even bigger bazooka that it holds up here. And this backpack has like little mechanical arms that can reach back and grab these for it. It's honestly great. It's really extra, and I like it a lot. I can actually show you what threat justifies this. Because it's a Gundam that also has a bunch of shit bolted to it. The threat that justifies this existing is... Oh, actually, no, this picture doesn't have the backpack. Let me find one with the full backpack. There, that's a good representation. These 2 are actually from one of my recommendations This is the Thunderbolt Gundam. This is what it's up against. These two are actually from one of my main recommendations for if people are looking to get into Gundam and they're like, what should I watch as an easy thing to watch Gundam? There's a movie called Gundam Thunderbolt. I think it's December Sky. And it's just a movie, and you don't really need to know anything aside from the fact that there's a war going on. And this is the main Gundam in it, and then the Zaku is the main mobile suit on the other side. This guy also has a bunch of guns. He's got 2 big laser guns here. He's got a big laser gun back here. He's got missiles here. Honestly, the Thunderbolt Gundam is, like, way better equipped than the Zaku, because the Zaku's basically just got, like, a bunch of bazookas and machine guns, and the Gundam's got a bunch of beam weaponry. But, yeah, December Sky's very fun. The other crazy thing about the Psycho Zaku is that to properly pilot it, you have to be a quadruple amputee. Because it has this whole piloting system built into it where it, like, hooks up to your missing limbs, and then by, like, trying to move your missing limbs, it moves the Zaku, like, automatically. So that's a thing as well. But it's very fast. Yes, it's incredibly niche. You can pilot it without being a quadruple amputee, but it's only at its full potential if you don't have any limbs, basically. And also, I'm going to be pedantic. Technically, this guy and many of the other mobile suits are not Gundams. So, essentially, if they have a head like this, so if they've got 2 eyes, and they've got, like, the crest up here, that's a Gundam. But if they're just a big robot, they're just a mobile suit. So essentially, all Gundams... Yeah, actually, I don't have my glasses on, but if I did, I'd push them up right now. Actually, all Gundams are mobile suits, but not all mobile suits are Gundams. Essentially, Gundam is like the name for a type of mobile suit built by the Earth Federation. Or at least that's how it is in UC. In, like, various other Gundam stuff, they're slightly different. So yeah, this guy we're building right now is not a Gundam. It is a mobile suit. That's like the easiest actually thing for a Gundam fan to do, is when someone calls any robot a Gundam. You can hit them with the, actually? That's not a Gundam, because if you look closely, you can see that it doesn't have the signature Gundam crest, and it's using the Xeon Mono-Eye camera configuration, and they don't build Gundams. I actually generally prefer the look of the non-Gundam mobile suits. Because I feel like a lot of Gundams have this thing where they basically look like the original Gundam from the original Mobile Suit Gundam is called the RG-78. And a lot of Gundams have this kind of weird design thing where they basically just look like the RG-78 with like extra shit added to it. But then the things that aren't Gundams are a lot more varied and interesting, I find. But there are still some Gundams that look very cool, too. Yeah, I'm not a Gundam either. I'm just No.A Mono. Did you all know that there was a Hello Kitty Gundam? Actually, I'm a mobile suit. They did this crossover with Hello Kitty where there was a Hello Kitty Gundam. And she's like, everyone should just be friends. I think they made like a Zaku version of her too. Which was pretty cute. But yeah, basically, if it doesn't have 2 eyes, it's not a Gundam. And if it does have 2 eyes, it might be a Gundam. Actually, I think usually if it has 2 eyes, it's a Gundam. Yeah, but one of my eyes is busted, so I'm a mobile suit. Honestly, I think most Gundam fans are used to people calling everything a Gundam, so it wouldn't piss off reasonable people, but the people that are the most fun to piss off, it probably would piss off, so I think you should do it. Yep. You're perfectly equipped to annoy people. And if anyone says, actually to you, just say, why did they call it Gundam then if this isn't a Gundam? What do you mean? The show is called Gundam. What do you mean these aren't Gundams? That doesn't make any sense. You're wrong. Have you even watched the show? Obviously, these are Gundams. Man, there's not many pieces for these bazookas, but there's like a lot of pieces to sand on it. Delightfully devilish. I remember I got a huge rise out of this guy once when I did the whole Metroid versus Samus thing, where I was like, yeah, Metroid. Do you think Metroid could beat Master Chief in a fight? I think Metroid could, because he's a bigger robot. And he has missiles. And, yeah, we went on for a little while with the whole... No, their name isn't Metroid. It's Samus, it's a person in a suit. No, that's crazy. The game's not called Samus Prime. It's called Metroid. It's a big robot, and he's got missile arms. I think Metroid could win, too. Master Chief doesn't really have a booty. The one thing Master Chief does have is more practice teabagging people. So he might have, like, better muscles for a twerk-off, but he doesn't have as good a booty as Metroid does. I think it's really wild now that people know what teabagging is, but they don't know what it's supposed to mean. Or, like, some people don't know what it is. Like, they call it, like, crouch spamming or whatever, and it's like, no, that's teabagging. You're putting your balls in their face. I remember when Halo Infinite came out, and it was getting, like, popular again until it stopped being popular because Bungie fumbled it, or 343 fumbled it. But I remember seeing people saying, like, man, this guy, whenever he kills me, he starts twerking on me. And it's like, oh, no, you don't know. You don't know what's happening here. You don't know what's being done to you. I feel like the peak of teabagging, though, was Halo 3, because it had, like, the ragdoll physics for the dead bodies. So when you do the crouch on it, the body would, like, bump, 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 bump. Okay, I am gonna finish sanding these pieces, and then I am gonna go pee, because I am full of tea right now. Mamma mia. I got so much leaf juice in me. Okay, those are all good. I am going to assemble them after I pee. This picture is slightly inaccurate. It should be drank a tea, I'm pissing. But I'll have to prepare that later. I'll be right back. I'm returned. I pee-peeced. And I also got myself some cereal. I did not. I basically got out of bed and started streaming. But honestly, a lot of the time, I do just have tea or coffee for breakfast because I'm naughty like that. Okay, so these are gonna need some panel lining. You know, I thought of trying that before. Not with tea as much, but with coffee, I think it could be good. I think especially if you made like a latte and you poured it in the cereal, I bet it would be yummy. But I haven't actually tried it. I think it also depends on the cereal, because some cereal I like eating dry, and some cereal I like with milk. Like, for instance, Honey Nut Cheerios are way better with milk. But, like, Frosted Flakes, I like them way better dry. So I think there's factors to consider, is what I'm saying, you know? Right now I've got some brand new type of cinnamon, maple cinnamon Frosted Flakes. They're new. They're very yummy, actually. And I think they're better dry. Because I feel like Frosted Flakes get too soggy for me when you put milk with them. Yeah, honestly, in Canada, we don't get nearly as many. We do get some of the wacky cereals, but like the few times I've been to the States and gone into the grocery stores, I'm like, holy shit, they have so many crazy cereals here. But these ones are pretty good. I like them. I will purchase them again. I feel like Frosted Flakes are like... they're a good middle ground where they're not like the cereals that are like 100% just like candy dessert. But they're getting there. Oh, you eat like the grandpa cereals. Oh no, you only have grandpa cereal there? That's sad. Honestly, I really like having like a proper meal for breakfast, like fried rice or something, but it's just like so much work compared to just like pouring cereal into a bowl. And I'm lazy, especially in the morning. Yeah, it's crunchy. Why isn't this fitting together? Why do you not want to fit together, Bazooka? The front of you is fitting together. Why isn't the back of you fitting together? Might be about as good as it's gonna get. If I really wanted to make it stick properly, I could glue it, but I don't think I care enough to do that. Oh, like Rice Krispies? Yeah. When you put the milk on them and they pop. They snap, crackle, and pop. Oh crap, now I can't open it back up to try and get it to stick better. Ah! This is good enough. Fuck it, it's good enough. Yeah, you pour milk on them and they kind of like... I can't do the noise with my mouth. But basically they've got like... It's like puffed rice, so there's little pockets of air on them. So when the milk starts dissolving it, they make little crackly noises. They're pretty good. I feel like you have to eat them like right after you put the milk on them though, or they get too mushy. I remember one of the funniest streams I've watched. If you want to learn more about various types of cereal, Rosemi Lovelock from Niji Sanji did a cereal rating stream where she got a bunch of different cereals and she tried them all and rated them. And I remember she had a very strong reaction to Rice Krispies because she was like, these suck. They're so bland. This is grandpa cereal. I've had the Rice Krispie squares and they taste so good. And everyone was like, well, that's because they're like full of marshmallow stuff, Rosemi. But yeah, after that, whenever there's like food that's slightly boring or something, I always call it grandpa food now. Because of that stream. This is like food for grandpas. Yeah, they're pretty little. They're basically just like rice grains that have been like dried and puffed up. How does this go? This goes like this, I believe. Yes. Oh, yes, like that. Wait. Huh? Oh, I see. There we go. Bazooka. And then these can plug on his back. How do they do that? They use each 12. bazooka. So this goes in here. Oh shit, did I forget to put polycaps in there? Uh-oh. Alright, we're gonna have to do some surgery. Okay, thankfully that comes off easily. I forgot to put pieces in the backpack. PC1. It's always worrying when you forget to put a piece in Gunpla, because sometimes if you have to take it apart again, it's easy, and sometimes it's very difficult. I think, like, funnily, all the times I've, like, injured myself building Gunpla is not with, like, any of the sharp tools that are used to make it. It's by, like, trying to take pieces apart. I'm an experienced mobile suit technician. Look at these rough, tough hands. These are the hands of a mobile suit surgeon. Okay, how do these go in? Just little sideways bits like that. I really don't want to drop these because they're really tiny and I would lose them. I got this rug for under my computer to help with... Yeah, actually, one of those wedge tools would be really useful because it's basically the same problem. I got this rug from under my computer to help, like, under where I have my desk, to help kind of soundproof a little bit better, because I don't share any walls near my computer, but I do have people living underneath me. And so I got this, like, thick shag rug for under my desk, which I think works well to help, like, stop sound from going downstairs, which is nice. But the problem is if I drop little tiny Gunpla pieces in it, they disappear. Okay, so that will go back on like that. And now this can plug in the side. Like that. There we go. Getting suited up. Now let's do the other one. I think they can kind of lean forward a bit. Oh, actually, maybe this one should be in the other side for where the what's the word I'm looking for? For where the scope is on it, because otherwise it kind of hits the shoulder. Does that work better? still can't get over the shoulder that easily. There we go. Alright. Second bazooka. I'm gonna speed run this one. I'm gonna be moderately quick, maybe. Unless I get distracted. It's pretty good. I think I kind of want to try and get, maybe get some foam for the walls. But honestly, like, where I have my desk, I can't really echo cancel it that well because it's like I have one wall near me that I could put some foam on, but then there's a window, so I'm not going to put foam on that. I guess if I, like, close the blinds, they're probably not super echoey. Yeah, I could do that. So I could get some foam and then just close the blinds if I want to echo cancel a bit. But generally, it's pretty good. I've got a mic I like. I wouldn't mind investing in a better webcam. I think it does face tracking fine, but for, like, hand cam stuff, it would be nice if it was a bit higher def. And I've got 2 monitors, which work well. I kind of want to try and set up like a monitor arm and get a third one going, but it's probably overkill. I don't know if I'd really use it. But yeah, in general, I'm pretty happy with the setup I've got. And from even before I was streaming, I play games a lot on my PC, so my PC is pretty beefy. Yeah, I want to get that, like, the full thing going on. One of my part-time jobs I did in the past, part of it was you'd, like, sit at the desk where they had all of the, like, CCTV monitors hooked up, and so you had, like, 8 monitors in front of you, and it felt pretty cool. Where's the other part for this? Oh, did I already clip it out earlier? I might have. Well, actually, it was a bit stressful because there was, like, a bunch of stuff you had to do aside from just watching the monitors. Because that's where all, like, the phone lines and stuff were, too. I didn't like that part of it that much, aside from it being cool being in front of all the monitors. I might have already clipped this piece out, so now we're going to move into the find where I put the pieces that I clipped out already section. Okay, here's that. But where's the scope? Hey, have a good eat. I hope you have pleasant dreams. I had weird dreams last night. I don't really remember what they were about anymore. But I woke up not feeling super rested because of it, I think. I don't know where the scope is. We'll worry about that later. Gundam dreams. Yeah, dream about the blue Gundam. Sometimes I remember my dreams really clearly. I think I remember them a lot more clearly if I wake up from them. But if they're, like, in the middle of my sleep, they'll just kind of fade away. Oftentimes I'll remember them right when I wake up, but then, like, I very swiftly start forgetting them unless I really think about them hard. But honestly, I feel like I don't really have good dreams very often, so I'm kind of fine forgetting about them. Yeah, some people really go ham on, like, figuring out stuff from their dreams. Which, if it makes them happy, good for them, but I'm kind of fine with just forgetting about it. Because most of the time they're just, like, somewhere on a scale from weird but fine to, like, stressful and scary. I remember, like, one of the worst dream experiences I had once was I had this dream where I was, like, at a mall, and then they had, like, this announcement at the mall, and they were like, hey, everyone go home. There's, like, this murderer on the loose or whatever. Like, go back to your homes or whatever. And I remember for some reason, for, like, no reason, but, like, me in the dream was convinced that I'm like, oh, shit, they're, like, after me or something. So I, like, went back home and locked my doors and then, like, got into bed. And in the dream, I, like, got into bed and went to sleep. And then I woke up in real life, but I was still, like, half asleep. So I was like, fuck, the serial killer is out there. And it's real. And I, like, couldn't fall asleep because I was scared. It sucked so much. Yeah, it's funny in hindsight now. But it sucked at the time. I remember another weird dream thing I had that sucked at the time, but is actually really funny now, is one of my old part-time jobs. It was like a boring retail job or whatever. I had a dream where I basically just went to work and worked like a full shift and nothing weird happened. It was just like a completely normal day at work, but it was a dream. And then I woke up from it and I had to go to work. And it sucked so much, it felt like I was doing overtime. I should be like, hey, can I get, like, OT pay today? Because I already worked an 8-hour shift. And I did a good job in my dream. And I'm doing a good job today, so... This job is so crushingly boring that it's living in my head rent-free. Please give me more money. I do think it's good for people to work retail at least a little bit, though. Because it gives you empathy and compassion for retail employees, and a lot of people don't have that. And I think you can have that without doing the job, but I think doing the job, like, automatically gives it to you. Okay, there's that. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop. Because, like, my current job is much more technically demanding. Like, I have to think a lot, and that's difficult, but it is, like, so much less stressful than working retail. Like, even if I get woken up in the middle of the night at my current job because, like, something's broken or whatever, at least no one's, like, actively mad at me while I'm trying to fix it. Although I think part of that's just, I really appreciate at my job, we have a really good culture of, like, if something breaks or goes wrong, there's not, like, blame put on people. It's just like, oh yeah, it's time to fix it now. That shit happens. Although I will say one thing that was good about the, like, retail-ish job I worked is that they didn't hire people into, like, manager or supervisor positions. They only promoted into them. Which was really good because it meant everyone who was your boss there had worked, like, the ground floor shit that you were doing. And so in general, they were pretty good about, like, understanding how it was. Which was a good system, I think. So mostly it would just be like customers would be mad at you, but your boss would be like, chill. And if someone was like being really mad and annoying, you could be like, hey, I actually don't get paid enough for you to get mad at me, so I'm gonna go get my boss. And you can get mad at them. So it was not too bad. And they gave me money, which was pretty cool. Because I was in university and I was broke. Yeah, absolutely. I think the problem is like, some places the people who are in like organizational or management positions just don't know how to properly organize or manage people. So I think, like, promoting into management often works pretty well. Like, obviously you'd still get some people that are just, like, shitty and power trippy and stuff, but for the most part, you at least get people that are empathetic to the shit their employees are dealing with. But yeah, I'm happy, like, the place I'm working at now, everyone I work with is pretty chill, which is nice. And yeah, they give me a lot more money too, which is also nice. And somehow, I'm also like, I've been working here for 6 years, so I'm like becoming one of the more senior people, which is weird. Because it's that thing where even if you've been at a place for a long time, especially when the imposter syndrome kicks in, you kind of feel like, oh, I'm one of the new people, right? I'm still a new person, right? And it's like, oh no, I'm the senpai, actually. I know things that I assume everybody knows, but actually everybody doesn't know this. This bit goes in here, and we still haven't found the scope, so we're just going to ignore it for now. It's somewhere. I'll probably just find it when I'm, like, doing something else. It's easy to put on afterwards, so... This can just be the point-blank bazooka. There we go. We're getting set up. Now, I think we need the Panzerfausts. Where are those? God, them big zonkas. Them big bazooka dunks. Them zunker honker donkers. Wog. Kampfer-san, your Zunkas. Too spicy for YouTube. This will be my first video that gets struck down for explicit content. They're gonna be like, No.A Mono. This is, kids could see this. This is indecent. You've gotta stop. And I'll tell them, if you don't want me, if liking big robot Zookas is a crime, then you can put me in jail. Yeah, I'll move to Twitch. They'll let me show the Zunkas there. Speaking of robot Zunkas, did you ever finish Persona 3? Nice little segue. Yeah, honestly, it took me like a really long time to finish P3 again. I think what happened to me too is I like started Persona 3 at one point, and I got pretty far into it, and then I stopped, and then when I wanted to play it again, I'd like lost my save, so I had to start again from the beginning. I think it probably took me a total of like 2 years to beat P3, just because I played it really slowly. Part of it that helped, though, is I also started... The first time I played it, I started playing as the male main character, and then when I started again after I had lost my save, I played as the female MC, so... That kept things fresh. Yeah, you don't meet Igus for a while. I think she's, like, one of the last party members you get, which, to be fair, she has, like, guns for hands, so if you got her right at the start, maybe that would make things too easy. I do feel like the progression in firepower, like actual firepower that these children have access to, between Persona 3 and Persona 5, like with 4 in the middle. Yeah, she's definitely kind of like an endgame character. The emo girl. Oh, you mean Marie? Yeah, because Marie was, like, added for Golden. She wasn't in the original P4. But I guess was always in Persona 3. But yeah, because, like, in Persona 5, you just have, like, model guns, but then in the cognitive world, you know, they act real, basically. And then in, like, Persona 4... you just have, like, replica swords and stuff, but then eventually you get Naoto on your team, and Naoto has a real gun. Like, it's actually a revolver. And then in Persona 3, it's like, you get this fucking robot on your team, and the, like, crooked cop that's helping you out is, like, selling you grenade launchers and shit for her. P3's cool. I like P3 a lot. P3, my beloved. Even if its pacing is like the worst out of the 3 of those, it's still my fave. I have no idea what they're gonna do for Persona 6, honestly. But I'm sure there'll be, like, 6 more Persona 5 spin-offs before that happens, so... I'm really hoping. I saw a rumor that they're working on a Persona 5 fighting game. And the Persona 4 fighting game is, like, one of my favorites. One of my favorite fighting games. So I really hope that that's true. I'll always gush about how fun the story is in the fighting games. Because it takes place after Persona 4, and it has the characters from Persona 3, but, like, older. as well as the Persona 4 cast, and it's really good. And there's a new cute robot girl in it. It's so awesome. Yeah! She's super cool. Her name's Labris. And she has a Kansai, like a Kansai Ben accent. And in the English dub, to represent that, they gave her a Boston accent. And she's so awesome. She's got a big giant axe with like jet engines on it. She's so cool. And she can do a rocket punch. And she's like, hey, I'm flying here. I have a figure of her, actually. Is it nearby? It's just on my desk. Or on my shelf back there. See? It's Labris. She's got a ponytail, and she's got a really big axe. Wait, where's the webcam? Labris! She's really cool. She was also, like, really bottom tier in the fighting game. She wasn't good at all, but I still played as her. They did do her dirty. Honestly, her mechanic was pretty cool. So her whole gimmick was like, when she did attacks, it built up the heat level of her axe. But then if she wasn't attacking and she was blocking, the heat would go down. And so when the axe was heated up, she did like dummy amounts of damage. But it was just kind of like difficult to keep it at max because her moves weren't super great. How do these clip onto the legs? Oh, I see. E10. The updated designs for the P3 cast in the fighting game were really cool, too. Because it was all them, like, several years after Persona 3, like, they'd all graduated. And Yukari's was the best because she became, like, a suit actor for, like, a tokusatsu show. And so she had like her Neo Featherman suit on. It was great. Akihiko looked even more edgy. He just like didn't wear a shirt, but he wore like a big tattered cape. And he became even more of a himbo. It was awesome. But yeah, I wish more people played the fighting games. Not even if just for the fighting game itself, but just like for the story. Because I think the story was really cool in them. Because they had like a full-on visual novel for their story mode. But yeah, they are definitely like... They completely spoil both Persona 3 and Persona 4, so... They're the kind of things that you can only really play after you've played the main games. Like, even not playing the story mode, like, just looking at the character roster and playing as some of them spoils some of the games. The dance games are actually really fun. The dance games as, like, rhythm games, I feel like they're kind of average. But the really cool thing about them is that the music in Persona is awesome. And they have a bunch of, like, really cool remixes of the songs. So these go on like this. Then they clip on down here. There we go. Now we got the little RPGs down there. And now the final thing I'm going to make today, I think, is the beam saber and a hand to hold it with. So that's on C10. Yeah, the spicy sword. Which, it's pretty cool that the Kampfer gets a beam saber, because a lot of the Xeon grunt suits just have, like, heat hawks or heat swords, and they're just, like, straight up not as good as beam sabers. It's also pretty funny that beam sabers are, like, very clearly just lightsabers, but big. Watching, like, the original Mobile Suit Gundam, it becomes very clear that Tomino was influenced by Star Wars a lot. Because you might have heard the phrase new type before. It's, in Gundam, it's basically, like, people that are born in space that have kind of this sort of, like, psychic connection and various kind of, like, low-tier psychic abilities. And it's very much, like, basically just the Force, but without the ability to, like, do telekinesis and stuff. Like, being able to sense things, being able to sense, like, have better reaction time, being able to, like, telepathically sense other new types nearby. It's like totally just Force users. It's too bad on the HG. I kind of understand why they don't do it, because it'd be kind of complicated, but on the actual Kampfer, there's these little circles. You totally can't see them on the webcam, probably. But there's these little circles on the thighs, and that's where the beam sabers are supposed to be, and they pop out of there. Okay, there's that. Here's the beam saber blades. Yeah, it's like a little drink holder, but for a sword. The cool thing about, like, lightsaber type weapons is that they don't need a lot of space to store, because you really just need to store the hilt. So you can kind of just hide them in little spots. Some of my favorite mobile suits have, like the Sazabi has it, where it has its beam sabers like in the wrist. So it can kind of do the Assassin's Creed hidden blade thing by like shooting it out of the wrist, or it can just pew, pop it out into its hand. One thing I think Gundam needs more of, though, which are like my favorite big robot weapons, is it needs more pile bunkers. Pile bunkers are so cool. Even if they're impractical, they're so cool. But when you can make laser blades, they're kind of pointless, I guess. The Sazabi's design is kind of edgy, I guess. It is like the quote-unquote... Well, actually, not quote-unquote. Char's, like, definitely a bad guy in counterattack. But it's like Char's final mobile suit. It's big and bulky, but it's very cool. It's probably, like, the biggest model I've built. I'll go get mine to show it off. Biggest boy. I don't even know if it's gonna fit on the webcam. This is the Sazabi. It's large. It's pretty cool. It's got lots of detail on it, and it's got really big ol' stompers. This thing took me like... I just worked on it off and on for probably like over a year and a half. Because it had a lot of bits. There's our little beam saber. Now we're just gonna make a little hand to hold it. This would be his left hand. One of the kind of nice things about some of the bigger kits is they'll have, like, hands with movable fingers, which can kind of be a blessing and a curse. The curse is that they're pretty annoying to put together, and sometimes they can be kind of flimsy if they're holding really big things. But the blessing is that, unlike the little kits, you don't need to make a bunch of different hands to hold different things. You just need one set of hands. But yes, the Kampfer is a lot easier to build than the Sazabi. It probably has like 1/10 the number of parts, if that. He almost could. He couldn't quite. So on the Sazabi, it's one of the few mobile suits actually where the pilot is in the head. So on this guy, where Char is, he's in here, in the head. So the Kampfer couldn't quite fit in there. There is this, I think it's the No.A. Yeah, it's also just the bigger model. Like, it's they have they make the Gundam models in scale, quote unquote. So they're like, it's this scaled version of its real size. So the Sazabi is supposed to be 1/100th of its real size, and the Kampfer I'm building is 1/144th of its real size. So it's also just a bigger scale model. But yeah, there is one mobile suit, which is the Neo Zeong, which does get piloted by a smaller mobile suit, a la Gurren Lagann. See if I can find a picture of it, actually, because it's pretty funny. I like a decent picture of the Sinanju in it, though. Oh, yeah, this kind of works. This is just like the art from the box. This thing is also, like, stupidly huge to build in a model. The Neo Zeong. It's like, you have to make this, like, the centerpiece of a room if you want to display it anywhere. So, this is the Neo Zeong, and you can see just a little bit in... oh, I realize you can't see my mouse. But in the middle part where the head is, that's a whole ass mobile suit in there piloting it. Yeah, they made it as a model. I think there's a picture of it somewhere compared to like a coffee table for scale. Oh no, I can't find it. But yeah, it's really big. Yeah, kind of. It's sort of like it wraps around. It's like a big ol' add-on for another mobile suit. But it's got that Gurren Lagann thing going on with like a robot inside a robot. I think it would be funny if they made like... They probably have. If they made a model kit of some of the like later forms of Gurren Lagann and they tried to do the scale thing. And they're like, this is 1/100 millionth of the scale. This can just sit in my hand. Doesn't hold the beam saber very well. Is there a different way I'm supposed to do this? No, not really. It's very loose in its hand. I don't know how it's supposed to hold this without it falling out. You probably have to just like glue it in there if you really want it to be stable. There we go. There is our Kampfer with all his stuff. Oh, you can't see it because the Neo Zeon's in the way. Just a moment. There's our boy. Look at all his stuff. Look at all his toys. He's got legs. He's got all his little things. He's looking so good. He's all grown up. Looking so handsome. No, I didn't. I just forgot to get rid of him. There we go. The Kampfer is basically complete. Yeah, he's ready to go to school. He's ready for his big day. He's ready to run his first errand. But yeah, he's basically done. I am still gonna give him a top coat and some weathering and stuff, but like I said, I'm gonna do that off stream because I have to be all about my house to do it. But yeah, thanks for hanging out while I finished him up. I think I will probably start another model kit at some point soon because I have way too many of them sitting in my backlog. But this arc of the Gunpla series is over, the Kampfer art. I think the next thing I want to start building maybe is the Turn A, which is going to take longer because it's a master grade kit, so it's bigger and it's more complicated. But it's cool. It's got a cow that comes with it. But yes, the Kampfer arc is complete. I'll put up a picture of him on Twitter so you can see him clearer. And I'm gonna probably do the weathering this weekend, so then he'll look really fancy. Oh god, he's so fragile. But yeah, thanks for coming and hanging out. And I will see you another time. I don't really know what I'm gonna schedule for next week yet. I think I'll keep doing the games I've been playing, and maybe I'll start the Turn A too. But until then, bye-bye. Have a good time of day. Bye.